Hey, good evening, guys and gals. This is Brad Varnell and the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. And today I am going to give you a couple of secrets to success in cryptocurrency investing, and just about anything in life. Here you go. Tip number one, get started. And then tip number two, don't quit. That's it, folks. End of the video. Somewhere in between those 2 points, you'll figure it out and you'll create financial freedom for yourself. Now, folks, of course, I'm not going to just quit here and do a 30-second video, but those 2 points are so important. I know as a lot of you watch this today, there's probably a bunch of you that have never bought a cryptocurrency before. You've been thinking about it, you've been wanting to, you've been hearing about it, it's been in the news, but you're scared, you don't know what to do or how to do it exactly. And folks, that's why you're here watching this YouTube channel. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do it. Today I'm actually going to buy a little bit of Polkadot and going to show you how to do it on the exchange that I'm using, CoinZoom. But it's pretty much, if you can do it, if you see what I do here on CoinZoom, you'll be able to do it on almost any exchange that you want. And Coinbase, if you're in the US, is even easier than what I'm going to show you. But folks, one of my good friends got asked. I have a good friend named Joshua Denny who is incredible shape. Cut and ripped, and just looked like $1 million. And one day, he had somebody ask him, how do I get in shape? How do I start? How do I look like you? And I was kind of surprised by his answer. And he wasn't being a smart aleck, but he told the guy, just go do one push-up every day. And the guy was like, oh, come on, man, be serious here. Really, I want to know, how do I get in shape? How do I look like you? And my friend Josh told him, dead on, said, hey, go do one push-up every day. And the guy said, seriously, how is that going to help me? And Josh said, here, let me break it down for you. If you go do one push-up tomorrow, and then you do a push-up the next day, and a push-up the next day, you're starting to build that muscle of doing what you say you're going to do. If I tell you to go to the gym for an hour and ride the exercise bike and really work you out real hard, it's going to be an overload, and your body's going to hate it, and you're not going to go back to the gym the next day. But if you just go do a push-up every day, after a few days, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be down there, you're going to do a push-up, and you're going to think, well, I'm already all the way down here anyways, so why don't I do 2 push-ups or 3 push-ups or 4 push-ups? Before you know it, you're doing 10, 15, 20 push-ups. Now your body is getting used to getting some exercise. Now your mind is getting used to exercising on a more daily basis. So all of a sudden you think to yourself, guess what? Maybe I had to go get a gym membership. So now after a couple of weeks or a month of doing some push-ups, you go get a gym membership and you start working out and you start exercising. And now that you're exercising on a regular basis, you start to think, you know what? I just went and put in 45 minutes at the gym. Maybe I don't want this Big Mac from McDonald's. Maybe I want to eat, some chicken and some, broccoli. And you start changing your eating habits, but it's all stems from the one push-up, which kind of goes into my next topic, which is the habit is more important than the amount. Folks, you got to start consistently and persistently getting some money, some extra money aside from your bills and all of the stuff that you're doing in life, and start investing it on a regular basis. So many people think that you got to come into cryptocurrency and that you already got to have 5 or 10 or 25 or 100,000 lying around and just plow it all into the market all at once. And folks, nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, if you have a nice chunk of money saved up that's sitting on the sidelines, then I would definitely recommend considering deploying it into some of the tokens that we've talked about on the channel over the last couple of weeks. And I'm going to mention a few more today. But folks, 100 here, 100 there, 200 here, 200 there, 500 here, 500 there will add up into freedom. My friend that invested $9,500 in 2017 and turned it into 2.2 million, he didn't just take $9,500 and just invest it all in one day. He invested it over the course of several months. So folks, what you want to do is get into the habit. I don't care if it's $1 a day or $5 a day or 1% or 10%. Just like with the exercise example, people ask me, well, how do I get wealthy? And I say, well, just save 1% of your income and invest it. And they say, that's crazy. That's not going to get me rich. I don't make enough money. 1% is almost nothing. But if you tell the average person, hey, you need to save 10 or 15% of your income, what are they going to tell you? They're going to tell you, hey, I ain't making enough money, or I'm barely making enough money to cover my bills and my expenses and to enjoy my life a little bit right now. I don't have 10%. I don't have 15%. And that's why I start with 1%. Because I promise you, if you get your paycheck on Friday or next week and you save 1%, and then you do that on your next paycheck and your next paycheck and your next paycheck, guess what? Just like in the gym example, pretty soon you're going to say, you know what? This 1% ain't hurting at all. I bet you I can do 2% or 3%. And before you know it, over a few months or a year or two, guess what? You're saving 10 or 15% of your income and investing it. Once again, folks, just drill that into your head. The habit is more important than the amount. And that really is almost a universal law for anything that you want to do in life. Now, I also come from the background of taking all out massive action. Once you make a decision and you decide you want to become free, you want your financial independence with crypto, then I recommend going and getting a second job if you have to. I know some people that are doing Uber in the evenings so that they can spend their daytime job money on their bills and their life, and then they're Ubering and they're investing all of that money that they're making at Uber into cryptocurrency. How exciting would it be to have a second job, even if it only paid you 15 or 20 bucks an hour, but you knew that every dollar that you were making from that was going into an investment that was probably going to 10, 20, 50, or 100x. So if you're making 15 an hour on some crummy second job, but that $15 an hour allows you to invest, you can invest that money because it's extra, it's new money. 15 times 10 is 150 an hour. These cryptocurrency investments overall are going to go up by 10 times minimum, and long term, very, very, very likely to be 50 or 100 or even 1,000 times. So every $15 that you can sock away right now is literally 150 or $1,500 that you're actually going to have over the course of a little bit of time. So with that, folks, I want to dive into the next step here and show you guys today's chart, because there's probably a few of you that woke up this morning and are a little bit unhappy about the market. I woke up today and I wasn't happy about it either. I took a pretty big hit to a lot of my investments. You can see Bitcoin is down here 4.4% today. Ethereum is down 7.1%, and just, boom, 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 boom. Just a total sea of red. Well, folks, these are great opportunities to add to your crypto investing. If you've got a little bit of money sitting on the sidelines, you have 100 here or 100 there, 500 here, 500 there. This is a great time to invest it. Can the markets go down lower? Absolutely. But long term, these are some fantastic, amazing prices. One of the amazing things about crypto is it's so forgiving. Bitcoin hit an all-time high in December of 2017 going into 2018 of about just under $20,000, right around $20,000. For the rest of 2018 and 2019, it consistently dropped all the way down and held in between like a $6,500 and $10,000 range until I believe it was March 12th of 2020, and it went all the way down to $3,200 for a brief moment. It rebounded pretty quickly back up to around $5,000. But imagine if you had gotten all excited in 2017 and started putting money into Bitcoin at $20,000, and now here it is, 2020, 2 years later, and Bitcoin is worth $3,200. It'd be pretty sickening, right? But by January of 2021, it had started back up. And by May of this year, Bitcoin was all the way up to $62,500. So even if you had bought at the absolute worst possible moment in the history of Bitcoin in 2017 going into 2018, you would have turned your 20 into 60 over the course of 3 years. Now, where can you go in the stock market and invest $20,000 and have it turn into $60,000 over the course of 3 years? Near impossible. Now, every once in a while, you might be able to buy some crazy penny stock or something and get lucky. But the average person, if you Google it, the average person is pretty happy with about a 10% return per year. And if you got 15 or 20%, you'd really be ecstatic. So if you take 20% even of 20,000, that's $4,000. So after 1 year, it would be 24. And then you'd get about $4,800 in interest the second year. So now you're up to 28 something. And then you get a little over 5,000 in interest, say the third year. So your 20 would turn into, say, 32, 33,000, which is over 50%. But it's nowhere near 300%, folks. So if you bought Bitcoin before this retracement that we've had over the last month and a half, and you're in it for 50, 60, 62,000, and you're a little sick, don't be. Buy some more if you can. I'm telling you, it's going to go back up to 60, and then it's 70 and 80 and 90 and 100. And this is an asset that over the next decade is going to become worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars per token. And as it goes up, so is the rest of the market. So right now is an amazing time to buy. And so folks, just real quick here, I've been talking about Polkadot. I've got my CoinZoom popped up here. And I've already got it on DOT. Right now, DOT is about $13.66. It was actually down to about $13.20 a couple of hours ago, and I thought about buying some, but I thought I'd like to show you guys how you can actually buy on an exchange. So whether this is Binance or KuCoin or CoinZoom, any type of an exchange that actually has a trading platform, you can see here, you pull up DOT, and it shows you here, this is the sell. So right now the sell is at $13.68. And right now the buy, or the bid, is $13.63. So you've got people that want to buy DOT at $13.63. You've got people that are willing to sell it at $13.68. So there's what we call about a 5-cent spread between the sell price and the buy price. So if you were happy to buy DOT, say here at $13.67, you would come over, and every interface is going to look slightly different, but you would come over here and you can click back and forth. Like if I wanted to sell Polkadot, I could sell Polkadot, but I want to buy Polkadot. And then you have market order and a limit order. So a market order is going to sell it at the price that these people up here in the red want for it. In other words, when you do a market order, you're going to pay the price that is up here in the red. And for instance, let's say that we wanted to do, let's say we were going to buy 2,000 Polkadot. The first price here is $13.65. So we would get 220 Polkadot at that price. Then the next sell order is at $13.68. So we would pay about 3 more cents for the next 440, which would give us 660 of our 1,000. And then we would be all the way up here at $13.70 for the remaining 340 tokens. So when you're doing a market order, you want to be careful that if you're buying a big amount, you can move the market. Like let's just go up here a little bit. No, it won't let me scroll up anymore. It doesn't look like here. Maybe over here. Nope. Won't let me go up any further than this. So this 2200 here is at 15 this, yeah, it's all the way up at $15. So if you were to buy more than this 14 or 1500, like if you were buying, say you wanted to buy 2500 or 3000 DOT, you would end up all the way up here at a $15 price. So you want to be careful, folks, when you're doing market orders. But let's say that we did want to buy it here. It's at $13.64. Let's just say we're going to buy 25 of them just for just for the fun of it. So we're buying 25, we're buying market, so that is going to be the price. Oh, it switched now. We're buying market orders, so we want to buy 25 of them. Shows us here that that's going to cost us $340.84. I get half-priced trading fees by using Zoom tokens, so I'm going to turn that on, and then I'm going to hit buy. Just click on buy down here, and as you can see here, your market order to buy 25 DOT has been placed. And then right here in the corner of the screen, it has been filled. So when you do a market order, that's going to happen fairly quickly. Now let me show you how to do what we call a limit order. A limit order is where you put in the price. So right now the price is $13.57 is the buy, and then there's a sell at $13.62. So I want to see if we can get this done fairly quickly, and I want to show you guys how it works. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the limit, and then we're going to say we want to buy another 25, but we want to pay a lower price for it than we just did. So it's showing here at $13.59. We're going to put in $13.60, and then we're going to hit buy DOT. Now once again, our order's been placed, but because it's a limit order, it hasn't filled. Because as you can see here, if you can see this on your screen, this 25 is what we just put the price in at, and then after we put our price in at 13.6, somebody put in a bid higher than us for 220. Now ours just keeps kind of bouncing around here. Let's give it just a minute or two and see if it will execute. It's on us now. Let's see if somebody sells us 25. And see, somebody keeps coming in above us before ours executes. So at 13.60, it doesn't look like it wants to go through. Now, if I had more time, I would go ahead and just leave that there and let it do its thing. If it executed, it didn't execute. But I will also want to show you guys. So almost every exchange will have a spot here at the bottom that shows you your orders and where you can cancel your order. So we're going to cancel that order. Order has now been canceled, and my money has been freed up. So once again, limit order. You're going to type in the amount of the token that you want. So we'll go back here again and do 25. And then let's say the price is $13.62. Let's try this one more time here. We're going to go with $13.63. Try to buy 25 DOT at $13.63. Once again, it shows us here that the order's been placed. There's our 25. It's still sitting there. Now we're pretty, the next lowest bid is at $13.59 actually, so it's $13.63. I'm surprised that it hasn't come down and executed. It's at $13.63 and some hundredths of a cent, so very close to executing. And I guess it knows that I'm recording, and so it doesn't want to help me out here and execute. Once again, I can just leave that there, which I think I wanted to buy some DOT at this price anyways. So I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to come back over here to CoinGecko. And I wanted to mention that I don't talk a whole lot about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's probably something that I need to do more of, because these are the two big boys. These two, it's almost inevitable that you're going to make money on these two. It's kind of like buying Tesla at this point, you know, and it's a matter of how much. Like Ethereum, I very much believe could be $10,000 by the end of this year. If you don't own any Ethereum, this is probably a pretty good entry price to start considering picking up a little bit of Ethereum. And in fact, folks, over my 3.5 years of doing this, if I had done nothing but buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, I would probably be, especially like after this retracement, I'd probably have actually more cash in my portfolio. I'd have a bigger number, a bigger balance if I'd done nothing over the last 3.5 years except for buy these two. Now, having said that, I've got some lower coins like the Cardano and Polkadot and Chainlink and this Polygon Matic and Stellar and VeChain. And let's see, as we go down through the list here, I also have a decent chunk of this Pancake Swap. And long story short, Neo, Tezos, some Avalanche, and just the list kind of goes on and on and on as we get down here. This Thorchain Rune, I believe, I still haven't bought any even after my last video, but that's one that I want to get a hold of. But as you go farther down the list, folks, they have a better chance of gaining you some of those 25, 50, 100, 1000 X's. Like I have a token that I just sold some of called DAG, DAG Constellation, that I was able to buy into it for about 2 going on 3/10 of a cent, and I was able to sell it a couple of days ago at 22 cents. So that was a pretty amazing hit, and it might even go up even higher. We still got some of it, but I sold off a bunch of it. But if you have some capital on the sidelines, folks, I think that buying some Bitcoin at this price, buying some Ethereum at this price, is definitely a great thing to do. I really believe that Cardano has some amazing things that are going to be happening with it. Polkadot, as you guys know, is one of my absolute favorite tokens right now. And so with that, folks, I don't want to take up your whole day. I appreciate you spending some time with me, and hopefully we can go out tomorrow and not be too fearful of this market. The sea of red is actually a good thing. I know that it can be a little hard to take, but folks, it's so important to know that you're in this for the long term. And once again, the habit is more important than the amount. Just stick with your plan, continue to accumulate and continue to invest, and one of these days you will be happy. I'm so excited for the future, folks. And so one little last piece of housekeeping. I am going to go through tomorrow after this video is published and after it's been out for a few hours, and I'm going to go back through my videos. I'm going to go number a bunch of them today, but what I've basically decided to do with that $25 Bitcoin giveaway is I am going to go number each comment with a number. Number 1, number 2, I think I'm up to about number 24 or 25 right now. I'm going to go number every comment, the first comment that each person makes each day. So if you made a comment on my first video and you make a comment on today's video, as long as it was your first comment, you'll have, you'll have number 1, say, and then number 70. And what I'm going to do in the next video that I do, I'm going to pull up a random number generator and I'm going to pick 4 numbers. Those 4 numbers are going to get $25 worth of Bitcoin each. Now you can comment on more than one video, but once you've won one of the $25, then you would be excluded from the next drawing. So if you happen to get picked twice, you're only going to get 25 in free Bitcoin. But I definitely recommend that you share this video out to your friends and family, make a comment on it, go back through and watch some of the other videos if you haven't seen them, and make a comment on those. And I look forward to giving away $100 worth of Bitcoin in the next video. So with that, folks, I love you. God bless you. Have a great day, and we will see you again tomorrow.